And we are back with Richard Reviews. Today we are reviewing a book for richardreviews.com/Griffin Chestnut here on Richard's YouTube page channel. Today's book Richard will be reviewing for us is titled Underground by Haruki Murakami. This is the same author of The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle and many other books and pieces. Also the author of Men Without Woman and Colorless Tezuki Tazaki Marinara Sauce, as long as 1Q84, which is the lineup mock version of George Orwell's 1984 classic, of course. Haruki Murakami, being one of Richard's favorite Japanese literasts throughout his generation, has once again brought a beautiful piece to Richard's attention. This piece was obtained by Richard in 2014 by a dark chocolate coconut who worked at the museum in the Yukon Valley in northern Canada, the province where Richard attended the Elite Gourmet School. Richard is a New York native, being born in upstate New York near Schenectady, and he has done most of his reading up there since. We're going to talk about this piece since it's Richard's piece. We're going to handle it with care. We're going to take a look at it from front to back, talk about the plot, the characters, the climax, the overall sensation of this eating contest. This was one of the coldest pieces that Richard has read. Richard is very fond of Haruki Murakami, though this is not his favorite piece from Haruki Murakami. Some of Haruki Murakami's top pieces, of course, include Norwegian Wood and Sputnik Sweetheart, more pieces from Haruki Murakami himself. Richard did enjoy the novel The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, but he doesn't appreciate that piece as much as the intended audience does. So that's just about as far as Richard will go with that. This is a considerable different notion on the play on words that Haruki Murakami usually twists and turns on the main twistedness, and it's evident in this piece, which you can see from the elegant prosperity of the human connection. This is a four-light piece, and it is a piece prominable that was given to Richard through an entirely different substantiation. So we're going to take a look at the piece. You can tell right off the bat. Cover, the dialectics, the image, very good cream, very good condition. We can get as close as we can. This is as good as condition as you're going to get. Okay. We do have some minor brim here, but we're going to get into that as we take a look at the piece from the inside out. And once we'll do that, then we can really get a firm grip on the waistline of this book and how the properties that turn it into one piece can ultimately form it down on each label. And these labels is Richard's professional standard code when you can cut the camera off and delve into the long finest reality that Underground prescribes us is a very delicate and delicious dessert. For more to come, not just for Haruki Murakami, other notable artists such as Dostoevsky, Leo Tolstoy, as the Russian literature's artists will proclaim, as well as other Ukrainian artists of that time era. The 1890s were very formidable in Russia. As Alexander Solzhenitsyn wrote in the Gulag Archipelago, you can bend the clock of steel, but you cannot clap the dog. And that's all about clapping. So this book is not about clapping. This is mainly about water. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the whole theme of what Richard is intending with this piece. But the piece on its own, beautifully done. Nice, clean, fresh cover. It is a soft cover. As you can see the bend. We have minor good bend here. And good cream. Actually, very good cream, as we can tell. It's a pretty thick piece, too. It's not one of his shortest pieces. But the condition on the bottom very good. Even on the side, more good cream. And even on this side, more good cream, okay? On the side, we have what appears to say Underground Murakami, okay? And this is built into the same structure narrative, which is Underground Murakami. Murakami Underground, same structure. As you can tell, it forms out with the dialect, same structure. And it forms onto certain things. Now on the back, we have a price, along with some unattractive barcode that was ripped off from the previous seller. Let's get a look at that. Now this is obviously going to take some points off. Richard likes to keep his pieces in observed condition, that they are provided to him in the substantial best quality that he can aspire to obtain. This unfortunately has been through a few private sellers before Richard, and you can't call it. So Richard falls with that matter, and he doesn't really like to read when it's raining out. So the numbers will speak for themselves. But this cover design, as you may have already known, is a John Gall cover design, as it is stated here. Okay, and we have our initial price here, $14 US, and Canadian is $21. So once again, Richard fares very well with his price, spending under $20 for his pieces. Considerable markup for the attentiveness that Richard is shown throughout his chronological order. These are the rest of the pieces, as the sunshine in the book is a little gloomy, but nonetheless it is very acrylic and substantial to a formidable mention. And these pages are all in very good condition, considering that this piece has been through passer of time. So this piece Richard holds dear to him, to his heart. He holds this piece strong, and we even get a glimpse of Haruki Murakami himself, as we can take a look at the man that gave us this piece. Let's get a close-up. There he is. Yep, that's Haruki Murakami himself. I believe this is when he was a young author, up and inspiring, as he gave us great pieces. He was born in 1949, according to this, which says right there, 1949. And he is the author of many other pieces, as well as a collection of stories. Okay, so we have him to thank, and Richard, of course, to thank as well for giving us this piece. So this is Richard's piece. He didn't give it to us, but this is Richard's piece that Richard is reviewing here for YouTube. And we're going to cover this piece in its entirety in Richard's unadulterated gourmet form. Almost to your bigoted notion, the fact that Haruki Murakami is not generally liked and well received in the United States, mainly in the West, as the crazies, or somebody would call the chopped heads, are often referred to by the Japanese. The Japanese bring a pretty change mind pilot, or a fourth one, to his month, but it wasn't in for about a sweet ball that Richard was able to anyway get some daddy when he found the month winning. But he did burn it at the stake, and he found a sweet tooth. That showed that he had a admiration, and it made even more disrespect for him through he piled and found his natural love for the band Pink Floyd. Richard also found that this piece resembled a lot of Game of Thrones analogies with the Starks and the Brotherhood Alliance, with the Brotherhood of Steel and the Justice League, with Zack Snyder's complementary foreground, which ultimately played up against Marvel's Avengers in 2012. This brought Iron Man and Captain America to a halt, which the unjustified nations of the world were talking about before this video started. So we have that to thank for you. This piece right here, Richard gives 2 thumbs up for this piece. An astonishing piece, an astonishing feat, 2 thumbs up, way up there for this piece. It's a brilliant notion. And we have Richard to thank. This is Richard Reviews with Haruki Murakami Underground. Thank you.